Hello everyone. Let me just turn down that music because it's actually super loud today. Okay, let me know how that is. Welcome everyone to this second live stream. Woohoo! I actually did a lot of building over the weekend and I thought, why not build in public? Because I actually did a teensy weensy tiny bit of front end work and it sucked because I'm not the biggest fan of front ends. In fact, I really don't enjoy it. And you know what I realized? AI is really good at front ends. I basically got AI to write the whole thing for me. So I've been building a ZK application actually. Do you know what? I can probably show you in a second, but thought I'd initially just start with a little chat effectively. So let me know if everything is working fine. I just thought I have a lot of work to do today, so we may as well do this together, have a little cozy study, work with me session. At Cyfrin, we did a lot of launches last week, and if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat, because then on breaks from doing my ZK research, building my ZK app, we can answer those questions for you. I'm also going to drop this link on my Twitter, but yeah, so I'm kind of gonna just like work away, chat through a little bit of what I'm doing, kind of same as last time. And then when I'm feeling bored, we can actually, is my mic definitely on? I kind of need some feedback to check. And also I don't know if you can hear the music now. But I think when I switch to my screen and me, then you'll be able to. But yeah, let me just tweet out that I am going on this live stream. But yeah, what are you all working on this Monday? I actually am a big fan of Mondays because I feel like there's like new energy to it. It's like a new week, it's fresh. We're all building cool stuff and learning things, and you're not tired out from the week yet. Right. I'm going live. What should I say? To work, chill, and learn. If anyone, sounds so British, if anyone wants to with me. And then paste the link. Paste. For some reason, it won't let me paste. Oh, there we go. I'm going live to work, chill, and learn some ZK stuff. Okay. How did you get into all of this? Great question. Let me just post my tweet. So how did I get into this? In 2022, my partner, he is an auditor, and it is such a niche field, to be fair. He's an auditor, and he was like, we did the same degree, so we both did a physics degree. And then after my physics degree, he was like, you're really good at programming. And I was like, I mean, I'm not going to be cocky, but like, I feel like I'm all right at it. But I just didn't really have any direction. And then he was like, you would really enjoy smart contract development. So I put it off for ages, and I was just like, no, it's not for me. I just feel like I'm not good enough. And then in 2022 of the spring, my grandfather unfortunately passed away, and I was very unhappy. And he was like, I feel like you need a big fat challenge. Why don't you do the Chainlink Spring Hackathon? And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, because what's the worst that can happen? So with no Solidity knowledge, I had programming knowledge from my degree. I'd done Python, C++. I started with C, I think. So I had lots of programming knowledge, but no Solidity knowledge, practically no blockchain knowledge. I remember we used to go on walks and I'd be like, so what is a blockchain? And he'd tell me. But I built this essentially a gasless relayer using Chainlink. It didn't work end to end, but I won the Women in Tech Prize for that. And by doing that, so Patrick kind of did the announcement and all of that. And then I did some talks for Chainlink on the hackathon. I kind of did a little bit more learning over the summer, but to be honest, I'm not really like a learning for the sake of learning person. I just kind of throw myself in. So obviously it was lucky that my boyfriend was in the space so I could ask him questions, although he was so busy. He was kind of like, I had to figure this out on my own. You're going to figure this out on your own. And I was like, fair enough. And then I got a job at Third Web doing developer relations, but that was a lot more front end. And front end's just not really my jam. I like logic, and that's why I love Solidity, because it's all logic. I like maths, which is why I like cryptography and ZK. So then after a year, left Third Web, and I was like, maybe I should do some security. So I did some of the Cyfrin first flights. I'd met Patrick a couple of times, and the Cyfrin team I'd met a couple of times. So I met them at ETH Denver, and then I met them again at SmartCon. I met Patrick for the first time at SmartCon, and he was like, you know, keep going, basically, just do these first flights, keep scaling up. Started writing some articles for Cyfrin, and then after a couple of months they were like, hey, do you want to join on the developer relations team? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to join. So then I'm here, and I did the ZK sync updates with Pat, and I started making longer videos. So I'd only ever made like 2 or 3 10-minute videos, and my confidence was pretty low because I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then Pat is very good at being like, you got this, and pushing you in the deep end. So I did that, and then I started learning some ZK, but it was very slow progress to start with, because it was like, I'd Google these things. Like, I remember hearing about like a ZK backend, and I was like, but what actually is that? And then it would be like, oh, it's just like the proving and verifying backend. And I'm like, you can't use the definition in the word in the definition. Anyway, so then I started doing the CCIP course because Chainlink were like, we want a course. And we were like, okay, amazing, let's do it. So I paused ZK, and now I'm back on ZK. So I feel exactly the same. I need a task that I feel is important. Exactly. It's like you learn for the sake of like doing something. Like, I want to build this thing, therefore I need to learn the stuff. So that's in general how I work. So good to know that you also are the same. And it also means you don't get stuck in what's it Pat calls it? Like tutorial prison. I don't think he calls it that, but I'm going to call it that. Tutorial prison, where you end up just like learning forever, because the amount of people who are like, oh, I can't do a hackathon, I can't build something because I don't know enough yet. And I'm like, dude, I knew literally nothing when I did the Chainlink hackathon. I just hacked it together. I watched some videos. I read the Chainlink code, and I tried to understand it. And then once I'd understood some of it, I just tried to modify it. So I think the best way is to just build stuff. And on that note, let me switch over to my code screen. So I've got like a million tabs open. Meet and screen. That's not working. Give me a second. Right, let me see. Okay, I can resize this now. Definitely should have sorted this beforehand. Sorry about this. Okie dokes. Okay, right, now I need to order them so you can see me as well. Okay, hopefully you can actually see me as well now. Sorry about that. Would you consider start with the leader in this field? To be honest, I think my personal opinion, not that I really am in a place to be able to have an opinion, because hi, I'm from Argentina. Sorry, that just completely distracted me. Hi. Welcome. Argentina sounds awesome. I have a friend who lives in Argentina and he loves it. Yeah, I don't know if there really is a leader in this space at the moment. Like, I've done a lot of work with the ZK Sync team personally, and I think they are awesome and they've got really cool big things coming. I think they're 4th on the leaderboard for L2s at the moment, which is absolutely sick. Starkware have got some interesting things going on, like they've got Cairo, but then you've also got Noir, which is what I'm building with at the moment, and Aztec is coming, which is awesome. So yeah, so I think the leader in the space is yet to be realized. I feel like it's all up in the air at the moment. It's such a niche field, like we don't know. It's like how in social media, MySpace and what was the other one? Can't remember. MySpace, and there was like a Friends for Friends or something. Can't remember what it was. Like, they were so early and now no one uses them. Like, we couldn't even imagine TikTok would come along in 2020. So we've no idea, basically, is what I'm saying. Malaysia. Oh my gosh, you guys are from such cool places. I've never been. Togo. I've never heard of Togo before. Sorry, that's me being completely oblivious to everything. I'm not very good at geography. I'm really terrible at geography, but all these places sound really cool. I want to visit them all. What else was I going to say? Winning on ideas. Okay, so I am going to talk you through a little bit about so I built this app basically I'm going to head back to work. Good luck with everything. Thank you so much for joining. Have fun with your work. Namaste from India. Oh my gosh, you guys are from everywhere. This is so exciting. So, yeah, so what was I saying? So I'm building this app. So it's a panagram. You have to guess the arrangement, like, what do you call it? The anagram. So this one, I mean, maybe you can guess right now. But basically what I want is a way for you to be able to submit your answer and it be ZKified so that no one can see your answer, no one can copy it, and you basically just submit a proof to say this is the answer, and then we can compare it against the actual answer. Now, the problem I'm having, I can't describe. Sorry, actually, one last question. If you were to dive into blockchain, which event would you recommend? To be honest, I wouldn't really recommend any events. I think events can be a waste of time. It's better to just start and build something, do something cool, like contribute to the space, make some videos, make some tweets, like learn something and give it back to the community. I'm a data engineer. Yeah, like do something cool, I think, is the best way to get into the space, to be completely honest. If you are going to go to an event, maybe ETH Denver, although I don't know that I would really recommend it. I just haven't really been to many. Trump. Oh my god, yeah. It's almost Trump. That's quite topical. I'm not going to get into that right now, though. Yeah, so basically, the problem is that we need the answer to compare to. So in my circuit, I could have something like guess, and then have this be a string, and then I could have the answer here. I'm going to change this because this doesn't work anyway. Answer, which can also be a string, and then actually, you know what? Might not even have to like input that, and I could just be like, assert that. I'm actually going to comment that out. Assert that the guess is equal to what I want it to be, which is some some string like what the answer is in here. However, the way this is working at the moment is we've got this application, and then in source, and then where did I put it? Panagram input, which actually does have the answer in, by the way. Oh no, it doesn't anymore. Okay, I was noodling with this last night and I got stuck in a hole trying to figure it out for so long, and I've actually had to ask Porter about this because I am just absolutely noodled. But the way this works is it's using this stuff that I've imported from Noir.js, which basically means that you can compile and generate. So you can generate you can make an instance of the Noir program, you make an instance of the backend, you get the guess from the input, then you get the witness by executing the Noir program, then from the backend you generate the proof, then from the backend you verify the proof. Now I am going to make this on-chain because I want to be able to have this on, I want to have it on chain so that the person who gets it first can like get an NFT or something, but I want to make it actually work first. I can make it work if I do it in the string way that I was talking about before, but then someone could just come and look at the circuit and be like, that's the answer. And then I was like, well, maybe I just put the circuit in a backend, or I feed it to the circuit from a backend. And I think that might be the only solution, but what was I going to say? I keep being distracted by the comments. I'm really not very good at that, but keep leaving comments. That's not what I mean. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, then it kind of like defeats the object of it being trustless, and because I could like mess around in the back end and be like, haha, sucker, you can't win. So that kind of defeats the object of it. Is this code public on GitHub? Yes. Let me find on a different screen the link. Can't find it right now. I've got like literally a gazillion tabs open at this point. It's actually ridiculous. It's on my profile, I think. I think I made it public. Yeah, it's called ZK Panagram. I can probably just link it in the chat, can't I? Oh, actually, I can leave it in the description. Wait, yeah? Can I do that? I think so. Yes, I can. Edit. Okay, cool. So, source. I don't know how up to date this is. Source. Code. Save. Okay, so you should be able to see that now in the description. I mean, I'm new to this live streaming business. So, oh my gosh, hey Dapper Dan. GM. We love seeing people live stream. I mean, yeah, it's a good way to get some help from people when I can't figure it out. Love seeing people stream. Stay at home club. Honestly, yeah. Stay at home. Because we don't have an office. Actually, it would be pretty sick. We were saying the other day it would be pretty sick to have an office. When we did I don't know what that shock is up here. I don't know what I was trying to search there. Yeah, we were saying when we did the certs launch, because we've released certifications, by the way. I don't know if everyone's seen, but you can now have your Solidity skills certified, which is really, really cool. But when we released that, we were like, oh, it'll be really sick to have an office. But anyway, so then I was thinking, what we need to do is hash the answer so that people can't see the answer, and then I can just like compare the hashes. And then I was like, well, I would just brute force it, because I would take, I mean, actually that's a lot of combinations, but I would take all the combinations of this word and then I brute force it to be able to find what the hash is. And there's like basically the computational power to do that is just not that large, so that wouldn't work either. And then I was like, well, I could do a Pedersen hash, and then I was researching Pedersen hashes. Pedersen hash. In here, I was reading about Pedersen hashes, which basically have this thing. Let me go get my iPad. I'm just going to go get my iPad because I wrote some notes on it. So I found out that essentially you have this thing called the blinding factor, which is like a random number that you hash with the private piece of data, because then it basically makes it random so that you can't hash the same data and get the same hash twice, so then you can compare. And then I was like, oh no, that's stupid, because then when I try and compare the hashes to each other, they're gonna be different. So then I was like, okay, but I need to reuse the blinding factor. And then I was like, but then that defeats the object of using the blinding factor. So now I'm stuck, effectively. So I am waiting for someone on the ZK Sync team who made their prover to get back to me. But I just thought I would do some research while I'm at it. Do I have a PhD in maths? No. I have an undergrad degree, so a BSc in physics, and then I have a big love for maths. Me and maths, we love each other. She's not always easy, but she's always interesting. Do you have some background in cryptography? No, like I said, I've got background in physics, so I did a degree in physics, and then I taught myself some cryptography. I would still say that I'm a beginner. I think the math background, because obviously actually math for physics, really helps, because all of the things like group theory, set theory, fields, obviously algebra, linear algebra, things like that, like I know all of that already, or like it's not hard to refresh it. That makes it easier to pick things up. And also like mathematical language, I'm much better at. I can read research papers, I can read, complex math equations and things like that. But in terms of actual cryptography, no, definitely not. I've read some books, and I've got a very good mentor in Porter who answers my questions, which is super helpful. But anyway, back to this. Oh, and I was reading about oracles to be able to do off-chain computation, and I was just wondering if that could help me. So I was just reading through this documentation. I'm actually not going to be chatting the whole way through this. If I see an interesting question, I will drop in and answer the question, but I'm actually just going to do a little bit of research, do a hunt around, see if I can answer some of my questions. So if you guys want to carry on with your own work, or you want to dig through my code base, then feel free. But otherwise, yeah, this isn't going to be uber informative, because I'm not sure where I'm going with this at the moment, because I need to figure out this problem where I don't want to be releasing the answer in my, actually this needs to say how many it is exactly, in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, that would be such a difficult anagram. This should go away now. String 0. What? No, it's not 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, okay. Now it's got away. What was it saying? Yeah, I don't want to give the answer away in the circuit. So then maybe I need to do a Pedersen hash, Pedersen. I think it's Pedersen hash, but I just don't think... I'm going to read a bit about this. I'm going to just double check I don't want to be using this. And I'm also going to do a bit of arguing with ChatGPT, won't I? Where can I learn cryptography and math for blockchain and crypto? Well, on my YouTube, I have a couple of introductory videos. So I have one on elliptic curve cryptography, signing, ECDSA signatures is what I mean. So signing, generating keys, signing messages, verifying signatures. And I also have some on set theory, group theory, and modular arithmetic. I've got some coming soon, hopefully one this week, which will be on group theory and potentially a bit of fields in finite sets. So finite field theory. That'll be coming soon. I've got some articles also coming soon. Sorry, I got a bit dry lips. I've got some articles coming soon that go a bit in more depth. So I've got one on pairings also coming soon. I need to finish that off actually. The ZK book is very good from Rare Skills, but I prefer the ZK Moon Math Manual. And then I also have a book that I can't remember, Porter has a very good tweet that lists a bunch of books that he recommends, and they are all, I think, very good. I've only read like one of them, but they're very good. And keep your eyes peeled on Updraft. If you guys would like to see a course on Updraft about ZK, just spam it, because if you leave tweets wanting it, if you guys leave messages on Discord wanting it, on YouTube, like tag me, tag Pat, tag everyone, and we will see that, and then we can prioritize it. Or even like your favorite ZK protocols, like let them know, like, oh my gosh, you guys should do something with Updraft to like make a course. That would be awesome. But basically just tell us that you want a course, because then we can prioritize it. There's also Math Academy. I actually have been using Math Academy. It's good for like math prerequisites, like school and like high school math. I think they go into a bit more depth, but I don't think it does any cryptography. Nothing like specific. I think they do a bit of set theory and maybe group theory. I'm not even sure. And they're good, but I just don't know that they are specific enough, if that makes sense. Yeah, so Peterson hashes are efficient to verify because they use elliptic curves, and elliptic curves are easy to perform mathematics on because they are homomorphic. If you do a calculation on the elliptic curve converted data, then that's equivalent to doing the computation on the data itself. So it's associated with ZK snark proofs, exactly. So like Groth 16, basically. And Kekak 256 is not efficient. Yes, we want a ZK course on Updraft. Woohoo! That is music to my ears. Or maybe a collab with Jeffrey on from Rare Skills regarding ZK would be great. Yeah, 100% agree. I'm a big fan of Jeffrey. I think he's absolutely awesome. I think they've got their own little thing going that's very successful and very, very good, may I add. I have also used it to do my learning. Both that and the Moon Math Manual are chef's kiss. Fantastic. But I think it's always good to take in information, regurgitate it, chew it up, spit it out in a different way, because different people learn in different ways. And if you have things explained very slightly differently, sometimes that helps it stick. So I think the more learning that we have on ZK, the better. God, this LaTeX is not working. I think it's just this formatting of this finite field. So this basically means a finite set, well, it's actually a finite field, and because obviously with modular finite fields, you have it like loop around a certain number, and this is normally a prime number. And I can't remember why it's got to be prime. It makes the maths nice and easy, but I can't remember why, because I haven't read my own articles in a while. So I don't actually need to read exactly how it works. I just need to read why I'd need to use it. Interesting. Noir oracles allow you to use outside calculations in your program. Use cases. An example usage. Providing something on chain. For example, providing the quote was below a certain target to a certain block time, or even making more complex proofs like proving ownership of an NFT as an anonymous login method. Another interesting use case is defer expensive calculations to be made outside of the Noir program, then constraining the result. Let's see what examples they use. What tutorials do they have? Reference, tooling, how-to guides. Let's see how they do. Membership proof. So they've got a message. Peterson hash. If only collision the specific hash function used is chosen by the backend. The only requirement is this hash function can heuristically be used by a random oracle. If only collision resistance is needed, then one can call the Peterson hash instead. The leaf is then passed to compute Merkle root with the root index and hash path. What the heck? The Merkle root is going to be different if you've got a different as an example, the proof only requires a hash function that has collision resistance, hence a hash function like Peterson is allowed, which in most cases is more efficient and even more conservative than char 256. Yeah, sure, but like, how do you know that the factor is going to be the same each time? I want to see this is an example on the starter retweet. Okay, so let's look at that. Oh, they use the Blake 2s. Oops. Calculated nullifier equals nullifier. CK voting. Basically just reading a bunch of examples right now to... Do you have an idea of an app idea you want to build with ZK? Yes, I do. I am building this prover of my panagram or anagram. Panagram because it's panned out. And you can like type in your guess and submit it. And like I was saying before, this works if I just have in the circuit the answer, but I want to obviously ZKify the answer as well, but then there are multiple issues with that, which I was explaining earlier. Essentially, if I hash it, you can still brute force if you know the hash, because you've only got 9 letters to have to arrange. If I hash it with a Pedersen hash, so basically hashing it with you hash it together with a random phrase, and the problem with that is then when I compare the guess with the answer, they're going to be different because they're going to have different secrets. If they have the same secret, then the person knows the secret, therefore there's no point in doing a Pedersen hash, basically. I've asked some people who I'm waiting to reply, basically. So that is what I'm building at the moment. I am also probably going to do a Merkle tree, but that is actually easier in a weird way because there's already lots of examples of how to do that. I just need to like convert it to Noir. Actually, there's even Noir examples in the documentation, but now I'm just reading through their examples because I'm hoping it'll give me inspiration for how to solve my problem. The only solution I can think of at the moment is to have the answer be given as an input. So then you'd have like answer of type string, str9, like this, and then I would call this from a backend basically. And then there'd be answer here. But the problem with the backend is that then it's like, what's the point in the ZK part? Because you could just do it all in the backend, and in the backend just check whether they match. And also I could do something funky, because basically what you want is you want your users to be able to run the Noir program to be like, yeah, I've got the right answer, and you don't want someone centralized to come in and be like, ha sucker, even though you got the right answer, I'm going to block you, which would suck. By the way, Mike, I'm definitely not doing a ZK proof explanation this time. I mean, I can do, but at the moment I'm just noodling, just doing a little chill, learn with me, build some shit. Oh my god, I told myself I wasn't going to swear. Build some stuff. God, it's bound to happen. I've probably happened multiple times and I just didn't even realize. Let's be honest. Right. ZK voting with Foundry. How to create a simple ZK voting circuit in Noir with corresponding Solidity contract to track eligible voters, proposals, and votes. The problem is I'm not comparing that to an answer, but they do use a Pedersen hash, which is good because then I can see it in practice. This model you use for creating this. Let's look at what the circuit looks like. Oh my gosh, I just had some really cool information. So earlier I was saying about if you want to see a ZK course, then let us know in any way possible. I actually have a much better way for you guys to do that. So we now have, well, not now, we always did have a support channel. And in that you can submit a proposal and then get the community to vote on it for what's like considered for implementation. So if you guys want to create those tickets, those proposals, like a miniature DAO, and then vote on those proposals, then that's how you can let us know that that's the kind of content that you guys want to see. So it's not really like a DAO because it's like completely controlled by us. Definitely not a DAO, but yeah, that's how you can suggest it. So that's a much more structured way than what I just went for and suggested you to spam us with. Actually, don't do that because I've just made Travis's life an absolute nightmare by saying that. So apologies, Travis, but everyone else, that's the best way to do it. New to live streaming. Gonna screw up sometimes, say the wrong thing. They need a capital M for Merkle, and it's really annoying there. private keys are 0, 1, 2, and 3, and the secret value to create the commitment is 9. Why are you telling me? I don't understand this at all. Oh, it's using Merkle trees. What if I could get... No, they're not allowed to know the secret. That's kind of the point. I'm gonna have to argue with ChatGPT for a minute. Right, let's see what I've said so far. So I'm building a simple ZK app, and I've hit a bit of a snag that I don't know how to navigate and wondered if you had any ideas. Premise: this is an anagram game. I provide a scrambled 9-letter word, like this, and make a guess at the word. This is verified on chain via my verifier smart contract, and if they are first, I mint them an NFT. Kind of done that bit. The problem, obviously, the answer needs to say secret, so I can't just put the word as a string in the circuit. If I have the answer as an input, the users still need it as a public input in order to generate their proof, and thus it needs to be in the smart contract or the front-end code, or maybe a back-end, but then that's kind of centralized. Immediately I think, oh, let's use a Pedersen hash, but that's silly because then I need the same blinding factor for the answer and the guess. That is a typo. So I need to edit my message. If they have the blinding factor, then they can still brute force a match for the hash, and that defeats the object of using a Pedersen hash. If you have any ideas, let me know. Oh, that's my message. I don't know if this is a normal thing. So then ChatGPT said this is a classic ZK app design problem. You're absolutely right to consider the trade-offs. Thanks, ChatGPT. Here's a breakdown of the situation. Don't need to know that. Ideas and insights. Make the user generate the proof without access to the answer. You publish a commitment to the answer. The user guesses the word and provides it as input to the circuit. The circuit hashes the guess with a user-provided blinding factor, compares the hash to the published commitment. How can I do that? If the hashes match, the proof is valid. How does that work? If the commitment is known, the users can still brute force answers offline unless the search space dictionary is very large. Pedersen hashes or other collision-resistant hashes may mitigate brute forcing, but can't completely eliminate it for small search spaces. That's fine, I don't mind. Owner-generated proofs, that's the other thing I thought of. Instead of making the user prove their guess, the owner of the answer, you as the game operator, generates the proof. That feels very centralized. User submits their guesses on chain. No, because I don't want other people to be able to see their guess. That's kind of the point. The contract validates the guess using your proof as a trusted oracle. I mean, maybe that's the only way to do it. I don't know. Yes, you can reach me on socials. I think they are in the... Yeah, they're in the description of this video. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, can you explain how this would work in more detail? And I'm gonna add a please, because just in case AI take over, you gotta be nice to them. So then they said owner generated proofs instead of making... Okay, so we read that one. This is essentially introduces a back end, albeit in the form of your proof generation logic. Makes the app less decentralized. Yeah, I don't like that one. Using a delay or verifiable delay function. Slow down brute force attacks. Use a slow hashing function. Oh, no. Interactive. Provide a randomized challenge. A puzzle derived from the answer. Users must solve this challenge. The circuit verifies the solution matches the commitment. Keeps the answer secret while allowing the game to function. I don't know how that one works either. So let's ask. And this one. Because I don't think it's actually a solution. Hybrid approach 1 and 5. Oh, okay. Publish the commitment of the answer with a blinding factor. Use a Pedersen hash or SHA-256 with a large search space for the answer. Avoid simple words or common patterns. I mean, it's going to be a 9-letter word. Ensure that blinding factor is kept secret and use different factors for each game instance. Yes, I know, but how do I keep it secret? For additional security, consider rate limiting guesses on chain using mechanisms like gas costs or requiring a deposit. Yeah, but they can see it, so it's not that. That's not the point. Yeah, no, you can't DM me on socials, unfortunately, because otherwise I get quite a few DMs otherwise, and I can't possibly get back to all of you. So yeah, if it's an updraft based question, then you can ask in Discord, and if it's a question about something blockchain related that's more you want to ask me or Pat directly, then you can ask us by Twitter, by asking us on Twitter. But DMs, no, I don't have my DMs open at this moment, unfortunately. It just wouldn't be sustainable. I don't know why, but ChatGPT is doing this thing again when it won't let me submit my question, which is really annoying. Maybe it's my internet. To be honest, even if it doesn't work 100%, am I the famous Ciara and I? I am. No, actually, it's not me. I'm an imposter. I don't know who that. Are you the famous Vito though? Jeez. Oh my gosh. Do you know? I actually so I work with Vito now at Cyfrin, which I am very grateful for. But I remember when I sort of met him in ETH Denver, and well, I'm speaking directly to you now, Vito. I remember when I met you in ETH Denver, well, I sort of met. I was very jet lagged, and you came in with the team at Alchemy, and I was like, oh my god, it's Vito, because like I'd seen you chatting on Twitter, and I like low-key fangirled a little bit, and then I was like, I remember Ciara and I were sat in the corner, and we were like, oh my god, it's Vito, and then we were like too jet lagged to speak. I think I might have told you that when I met you in Barcelona, but I always find it funny to think about now. Same with Pat, actually. Like when we first met him, we were like, oh my god, it's Patrick Collins. It's weird, we've got like on-chain celebrities. Right, so I still don't know how to fix this. So I've looked through this. We definitely don't want to be using a Merkle tree. I don't know if we want to be using this Pedersen hash. I have a feeling we are going to use a Pedersen hash. I know now how it works, but I don't understand how we keep the blinding factor secret. So the key idea is that users don't need the actual answer, only a way to prove that their answer is correct. Exactly. This is achieved by leveraging cryptographic commitments and ZK proofs. Cool. Step-by-step breakdown. Game set off chain by you. Pick the answer. God, it's blockchain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's 10. Generate a blinding factor, a random number. Compute a commitment using a cryptographic hash function. Yes, I know that. So we can do that using... I actually have built this. No, I haven't. I need to use the one here. Where did I put it? Hash generator script. There it is. This was me noodling, so if we put it back in there, then we can use circumlibjs to generate our Pedersen hash. So that we can do. How does it make the random number actually? Build Pedersen hash. Text encoder message bytes. Input string. Okay. But how do I know what the... Hash equals Pedersen.hash message bytes. Okay, so I guess the random number is done in here. So every time I run this script, I guess it's going to be different. Oops. So let's pull up my terminal. CD. Oh no, I don't need to do that. Just clear that. And I want to run that script. Oh, I've got to generate answer hash now. Oh, I didn't install the module, which is circumlibjs npm I. Stupid question. No such thing. But have you any idea? By the way, if anyone says that you have a stupid question, this is Pat's thing. I'm going to steal it right now. If anyone says that your question is stupid or makes you feel bad for asking a question, that's not good for them. We shouldn't do that because there are no stupid questions. But have an idea of how to get smarter in Web3. Like, even after I complete Cyfrin courses, then how can I learn the other new topics there are in Web3? My actual advice for this is going to be a little contradictory maybe to other people's, which is that you don't need to know everything all at the same time. My belief is that if you want to build something cool, you will learn because you want to build something, right? So right now I'm trying to build something, therefore I need to learn ZK. If I wanted to build a roll-up on the ZK sync stack, I would maybe want to build my own proving system to have private state. Therefore, I need to learn how snarks work or starks. So rather than like following the trends and keeping up with like what's new right now, unless it's gonna be helpful for you or interesting to you, you cannot and should not pick up everything. So I would just be picky about what you're learning and learn on the job is my honest advice, and that's what I tend to do. I learn things when I need to know them, because I need to know them to build something. And you just have to trust yourself that you can just learn whatever you want when you need it, basically. Web3 has some huge community that there are some great tech as well, some not so great tech. Some companies just sponsor to get more devs working on their product, but sometimes it sucks. Exactly, which is why on Updraft we all of our sponsors are based on tech that we are already using and we think would be we already use it in our own development work, so therefore we're already going to be recommending it to you, and we think it would benefit your learning journey. And the other thing is that we want to keep Updraft nice and free for you guys to use. And the way to do that is to have the tech that we use sponsor the content so that we can keep making it free, and you can then use their tech because you would have used it anyway. But also if you maybe would have learned a competitor's tech instead, then you're not going to go do that because, you know, we're going to teach you the best tools. So that's exactly why we're so picky and choosy. So what was I saying? Oh, I'm going to run that script again. Module not found. Cannot find module. Maybe it's outside. Is it outside of application? Yes, it is. Oh, actually, no, I do want to move it inside there, don't I? Because that's where I've got all of my stuff. So if I go cd application, then I run it again. Cannot use import statements outside of a module. Okay, fine, let's just move inside src then. cd src, run it again. Now that's weird. Cannot use import statements outside the module. Why not? What's a module? Oh, I'm so bad at front end. It's honestly disgusting. I mean, that's not even front end. That's just a script. Why can't I use import function? Load an ES module, set type module in package to use. I don't know what a module is. I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT. Thank you so much. Patrick, myself, and Taz are making a lot of awesome content. You should check out Taz's courses as well. He does a lot of DeFi content. As a senior smart contract engineer, which programming languages do you know? So I feel like I'm at the point now where languages are just syntax, and I don't mean that in the sense of like, oh, I've just done so, not what I meant at all. It's just like, you think of a language as like a wrapper on top of base logic. Like the logic normally functions fairly similarly in that you have for loops, you have while, you have arrays, you have sometimes fields, strings, all of those, like the data types all seem to work the same. The logic is normally fairly similar, but the way you do it is a bit different. Now, for the majority of languages that I have touched, the rest is just syntactical sugar. So I have done have I done require? Is that what I did? Oh, using import. Okay, so can I put require? How does that work? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I spelled that wrong. And then I think it's something like brackets, isn't it? Require. And then it's not from, is it? Circumlib.js. Let's see if ChatGPT helps me. Oh my god, I've used require before. How does this work? I think I've done it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Const blah blah equals require. Okay, so how do I do that with a function? Const this equals require, and then I can do circum. Oh yeah, I did it right, thank you. Circumlib.js. And then this. Does this need to be in curlies? I don't know. Let's try again. No. Last edited 5 hours ago. What are you talking about? Where is that? 39. Have I copied something funny? Yes, I have. Oh, God's sake. Generating hash. Build Pedersen is not a function. Oh, okay. So maybe I do need the curlies then. Maybe. Yes! Thank you so much. That was extremely helpful. Right, what was I saying? Which are programming languages? So I started with Python. I did a tiny bit of Python, and then I did C. That was my first like proper programming language. And I think that helped me with like strongly typed languages, and it was so overwhelming. I was like, whoa, the whole time, and then I really enjoyed it. Then I did MATLAB. Then I did Maple, which was super niche. Then then Python again. We did quite a lot of Python. C++. Then I went and did a little bit of JavaScript, the teeniest bit. I'm not a big fan of JavaScript, as I'm sure you can tell. And then I did Solidity, and then a little bit more JavaScript at ThirdWeb, plus some Solidity. Then now it's just been Solidity plus the tiniest, weeniest, babiest, weeniest bit of Python and Rust. Now, that's not to say that I know Rust. I can just like look at it and vaguely know what's going on, like broad strokes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've looked at some Go code before, but I definitely don't think that counts. Oh, I also did a placement year where I did Java, but I definitely don't remember that. And we also did SQL and stuff like that, but really don't remember it. It was also C++ and Python, so I mainly did C++ and Python then, because they're like what's mainly used in physics, plus MATLAB and Maple. I really liked Maple. Maple was good fun, and it was good practice as well, because it was so niche. There was like barely anything. Any information is what I mean. Where was I? I was generating that Pedersen hash, and then I'm gonna have to have a break in a minute, you know. Generating the Pedersen hash. Oh, and then I was arguing with ChatGPT, wasn't I? That's what I was doing. Okay, so computer commitment. That's what I've done. I don't know what this message bytes array is, but sure, we've got this message hash. That is the Pedersen hash for the answer. Publish the commitment on chain. That I can do. User submission on chain, off chain hybrid. User guesses the word. They generate a proof for the circuit that takes their guess and a new user provided binding factor as inputs. Okay. User hashes their guess with the user provided binding factor. Makes sense. Proves this hash matches the commitment published on chain, but it's not gonna match. It's not going to match because geez Louise. The user binding factor is going to be different from the binding factor. What? Crucially, the circuit ensures the user provided binding factor and guess are private. Yes, but you can't compare that to the committed answer because the binding factor is going to be different. So if I run this again, will the answer be different? 6cc. It's the same. Right, if I change this to be something else, and then I save it, and then I do it again, 64C and 8F at the end, and then I put that back to what it was. Is it going to be the same now? It is, but I thought a Pedersen hash was supposed to be different every time. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused now. Do you have done any data structure and algorithms like LeetCode? No, I haven't actually. I think algorithms is quite an overloaded word, so I don't really know what you mean in that sense. I've written some physics algorithms to model fluid flow in a pipe. And I think I did a supernovas one as well, like modeling the speed of different particles. And I've looked at cryptographic algorithms, but no. Does smart contracts require maths knowledge? You know what? This is highly debated. I think it requires some. Like, you need to know some maths, like what a modulus is and how that works. Certainly when you get into complex DeFi, you're going to need some maths, like approximating exponentials. You have to do things like Taylor expansion or binomial expansions. And then so the thing is, you can verify a cryptographic signature without knowing anything to do with cryptography or how ECDSA works. I think the more advanced you get, the more you're going to want to know these things. And certainly if you're going to want to build anything from scratch, you're going to need to know it. But to start, no. To get a job in building smart contracts, to some extent, but not, you're not going to need anything like degree level. I'm talking like high school maths. You probably do need. That's my opinion. I think it's highly debated. So, like with everything, I think learn the stuff as and when you need it. If you need to learn maths, go learn some maths. If you need to like understand how Taylor series expansion works for learning how interest works properly, things like that. So that's my philosophy in general. Learn it on the job. Learn it when you need it. Bias fraction and all that. Right, let's continue with what ChatGPT is saying. Actually, I'm gonna write down my questions as I answer them. When I use circom lib JS to generate a Pedersen hash, it's different every time. Oh no, sorry, it's the same every time. I am not providing the secret. Is the algorithm itself ? And the function is build Pedersen hash. Otherwise, is it using the same secret? How does that work? I mean, the blinding factor. Right. Why this works. The user doesn't need to know the original answer. Yeah, okay. So what we would do is that we would then store that in the smart contract. So if you go down to the contract source panagram, then in here, we can have a storage variable, which is the answer, like this. Oh, we need it in strings. Sometimes it wants hex. Like this. I think that works. Which I think this might even need to be bytes, not bytes 32. I don't know. Bytes, memory. Oh, does it need to be memory? Okay. Alright. But I'm not sure. If the answer is from a source search space, an attacker can brute force the commitment offline. I mean, sure. I mean, to be honest, like, I might just do normal hashing and just say like, yeah, this, you could have brute force, and just explain it, because I'm not going to make this like an actual game that people it's just for me to learn, basically. Pick an answer, create a blinding factor, compute a commitment, generate a challenge based on the answer. Solves the puzzle. They generate a ZK proof that takes their solution as input, verifies the solution satisfies the challenge, recomputes the commitment for their solution, proves that the recomputed commitment. Okay, fine. Okay, so now the challenge is going to be. Okay, I'm going to ask that question about the Pedersen one, because I'm a bit confused. Basically, I might just ignore the whole brute force thing for a minute and just do the hashed answer for now, and be like, this is a problem. Kicktails, do you recommend some courses, Solidity and smart contracts other than Cyfrin? On Updraft, we don't assume any knowledge. So what is it that you're struggling to understand? If you go to the blockchain fundamentals course, which is called blockchain beginners. Oh my gosh, I'm having a mind blank. What's it called? The blockchain basics course, that will take you through like what is a blockchain, what is a smart contract, and all that kind of thing. And then Solidity 101 or Solidity Smart Contract Developer, that course takes you from the fundamentals of programming and assumes no knowledge. So that's how I learned, was using these courses. So that is genuinely what I would recommend. I actually don't know of any other examples. That's not me trying to shill you Updraft, more just that like I genuinely don't know. Apart from like reading the Solidity docs. If you want to be a smart contract engineer, like I would just take Updraft front to back, and not skip anything and take it slow. If that doesn't work for you, leave comments in the discussions tab on GitHub, because that's an us problem that we need to solve. So like your feedback is going to be really valuable. Yes, head back to Updraft and continue learning account abstraction. Congrats. I am very excited for you, and I hope you enjoy Updraft. Thank you so much for joining. Right, I'm going to continue with reading my argument with ChatGPT. Oh, I love arguing with ChatGPT. It's fantastic. In the case of generating a Pedersen hash using circumlib.js, the hash is deterministic because the hash is a function of both the input and the blinding factor or randomness. However, if you're always getting the same output, it's likely because you're using the same blinding factor for each time. But how do I know what the blinding factor is? The Pedersen hash is a cryptographic hash function that is designed to be collision resistant and efficient. Yes, but how does it choose the blinding factor? Oh, you have to provide a blinding factor. Oh, so that's like the nonce thing in Tornado Cache. Oh, okay. Okay. Right, so let's just do it without for now. And then in here, we can go back to our circuit. Let's go back to our circuit. And here, we're going to have these as fields. Field. And check that they're the same. So now, I need to go back to my application, back to program input, down to where I don't need this answer in here. Actually, yes, I do. And I'm going to steal this guy because we're not going to do it in the smart contract just yet. We're going to just do it with the back end for now. Right, program Noir backend guess. Fine. Console.log guess. Ah, no, but then what we need to do. This is guess raw. And then we need to const guess equals generate hash answer. But I want to return the answer. Return result like that. Can I do that? And then put that in here. Generate answer hash actually, isn't it? Generate answer hash. I need to import it. Okay, let's put it under here. Actually, let's put it here. It's not from utils, from / generate answer hash .js. I almost put .sol then. Yeesh. Right. Generate answer hash, but then this kind of needs to be like bytes. But I don't know how you do that because you can't really do like this syntax, can you? I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT. I don't know how to do types in JavaScript. Oh, what was that actually? Result equals weight generated. Oh, I could just use this. This needs an input. Return result. Oh no, yeah. Silly, silly, silly. Default. Hash. I need hash hex. What's message bytes? Okay. Let's just return hash hex. Can I explain what I'm building? Yeah. Oh, not right now because it's obviously broken. But it's in the README, the one that I think is currently working. But I'm building an anagram game so that you can guess the anagram and do it in a ZK way so you can make the answer ZKified. So I've got a word and I'm scrambling it and I'm like, can you guess the answer to this scrambled word? But then you can just submit a proof so that no one else can see the answer, basically. So I think that should work now. I do a longer explanation at the start of this. But oh, excuse me. So these are going to be strings right now. So maybe I do string. How many letters is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 64. Oh yeah, obviously 32 bytes. 32. Okay, so 64. If I do 64, I mean, I'm just going to see what works at the moment, and then I can edit afterwards because this is already better. And then if I go back into input, I mean, I'm not sure what's not working right now. Main is not defined. Gonna Control C. Start. If I spell it wrong. Generate answer hash. Now I've got that Nargo Tommel thing again. So that's linked now my Noir files to my front end. Generate answer hash. Export default async function. Generate answer hash. What am I doing wrong? Generate answer hash. Maybe I don't need these. Ah, that's what it is, because it's default. Oh my god, I can't remember any of this stuff. Main is not defined. I do need a main then, do I? Generate payload and hash, and this needs to be generate answer hash. So change the name of the function. Okay, so it's back to working again now. So if we type in our guess, I actually do know what the answer is. So this is my... Oh, so it's immediately hitting the oh no. Which means it's not even trying to generate the witness. It's just hitting this and then there's a problem. Which is probably, let's have a look in the terminal. Oh, console. Okay, let's refresh. Try again. Error generating hash. Bill Pedersen hash is not a function. Ugh. So this is the problem with Oh, where am I doing build Pedersen hash? Oh, it was working before. Maybe it can't do it on the server side. This is the part that I really, really don't understand. Oh my gosh, loads of comments. Oh my gosh, don't be put off by not knowing what a Merkle root, Merkle proof, etc. is. I definitely didn't know what this means. My battery is literally about to run out. So I'm going to have to head off in like 1 minute. But continue with Updraft. You will be taught all of these things. Don't be put off by words that you don't understand, because that will continue to happen for the rest of your career. I hear words that I don't understand honestly all the time, but we do teach this in Advanced Foundry. I would recommend you do Solidity Smart Contract Developer, which takes you through just writing smart contracts, getting used to writing functions, and then do Foundry 101, which teaches you the fundamentals of Foundry, and then Advanced Foundry will teach you other things like Merkle roots, Merkle trees. So don't be put off by that kind of thing. I'm actually going to have to head off because my camera is literally about to cut out, and I don't want it to cut out halfway through. If it does, then I'm very, very sorry. I feel like this is a bit of a frustrating stream because, I mean, to some extent, we did get some of the way toward understanding, which is that I'm not going to worry about doing all of it perfectly. I'm just going to try and get it working with hashes first, and then I'm going to iterate, because it's better to build something and iterate. But I hope you all enjoyed this and enjoyed chilling. I'm thinking of doing maybe like a CCIP Q&A at some point. Let me know if that would be helpful, because there is a section in Advanced Foundry on using Chainlink CCIP, which is very good. So if you haven't got to the Advanced Foundry section yet, don't worry. Just work your way through Updraft and you'll get there, and it'll be super fun, and you'll be able to see my face again. For you. But yeah, so for anyone who has already done the CCIP section, maybe I won't do it next week, wait for people to get to that section for a bit. But we can do a little Q&A in case people didn't understand things and things like that. So let me know if that's the kind of content you want to see. So I hope you have all enjoyed this, and I will see you very soon. Sorry that I've had to cut this off early. My camera's literally just cut out. So thank you so much. Goodbye.